Basketball fans, we had our first Game 7 of the playoffs in Round 1 yesterday. We're recording this Monday, May 6th. This is Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, Apollo's wing joint. Go check them out today if you're in the Houston area. We've got great wings, great beer, and great people over at Big City Wings. And shout out to Prize Picks, our daily fantasy sponsor app. Use code Apollo when you sign up and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app where you hit more or less on every stat, every player, every game, every night. I haven't hit many Prize Picks in the last few days, but that's okay. We love Prize Picks over here. I'm joined always by our NBA savant, basketball reference savant, stat muse savant, Josh Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Oh, yeah. Great. I just want to say you were on a delayed heater. It's been a rough but fun 2 days for you. You didn't sweat too much over the Mavs game. Stars game just had you on your ass, I'm sure. I caught the last couple minutes of it. Was eating some dollar dogs, not at an Astros game. Throwing some dollar glicks in my mouth. Watching some hockey. It was great. Panties were in a bunch those last 5 minutes there. I can't even imagine someone like you who actually has a heart and a soul and a mind involved in this game. You were probably just shitting bricks. But we made it. We're here, and we get to talk ball. This is my favorite part of the week. I'm here. You're here. Let's get after it, brother. How are we feeling?
Yeah, we survived the weekend. If you joined us on our live stream for hockey, basketball, NBA, NHL playoffs on Friday night, thank you for joining us. We'll be doing those more in the future with all the sports, and we've potentially got an NFL coming this week on Friday, potentially with the schedule drop. We might be discussing it with the Play Action Takes crew. But thanks for joining. If you were there on the live stream Friday night, I've been on a bender. Staying up late and sweating and just like chewing on things and just nervous energy for days on end. Need a break today. There's no Dallas Stars and there's no Dallas Mavericks today. Finally breathe for a second. This is great. But yesterday we watched the Magic and Cavs Game 7, and I thought it was over in the first half. Paolo Banchero, 24 points in the first half. They're up 18 points on the Cavs in Cleveland, and it was looking like we were just going to have a breakout series from the Magic, and then they were just going to get probably killed in round 2, and that's fine. But they're a young team. Year 2 of Paolo, and you get to the round 2, that would have been awesome. However, Max Strus came alive in the third quarter, and I had flashbacks. I tweeted it out. I tweeted the little army meme. The guy just looks like he's in war, the cartoon of the guy in the army, and just panics, did he? Just terrified, like in shock. I tweeted that out. I was like, Max Strus heating up from 3, and tweeted that picture out. That's exactly what happened. Max Strus went off, and then all of a sudden, Donovan Mitchell just kept carrying the team, and the Cavs survive in 7 games. I think every team won their home games. Was that correct? 1-1-1. Yeah. So kind of a stinker of a first round series. Game 7 at 12 o'clock Central is the most preposterous thing the NBA's ever done to us when there was no other NBA games on a Sunday. Not sure how that happened, but they just said we don't care. Here's a 12 o'clock series. Like this is it. Game 7.
Yeah.
Best words in sports. 12 p.m. Central. Game 7.
12 p.m. Central. God. The 3 best words in sports. God's time zone. I think that they just didn't want to compete with your Dallas Stars. Clearly there was something there. Maybe Stanley Cup playoffs, I'm sure, does get some crazy ratings. I think with ESPN Plus, you can get the NHL Power Play included with it, right? That's how it was.
Yeah. You can get all the regular season games basically, except for the ones in your area. So I don't know if you'd be able to watch the Dallas Stars since you're in Houston. Yeah. Blackout apparently goes across like thousands of miles for whatever reason. It's the dumbest rule in sports.
The Midwest goes through it.
But the Stars were on TBS last night, not on ESPN. There was an ESPN hockey game at 3. The Rangers and the Rangers and the Canes played at 3 o'clock for round 2, game 1. Why are we not rolling that out on ESPN Sunday night, ABC Sunday night after the Formula 1 Grand Prix? Like, sports were kind of all over the place yesterday, but a 12 o'clock start time for a Game 7 is just atrocious on all ends. I don't care.
flowers need to be given here. Donovan Mitchell, we have been shitting on you for years for being a
Yep.
bad playoff competitor, not even just a bad playoff performer, like a just
Yeah.
genuinely bad competitor. He scored, I think it was just under 90 points in 2 games. This is like
Hmm.
he's peaking out. He's going Ant-Man mode. This is really sick. Finally, we get to see an actual star come out of that Cleveland Cavaliers team because Darius Garland played like shit. Evan Mobley was getting boards and playing. I mean, I don't know. Someone on Twitter said that rebounds are the least important box score stat, which I don't hate that unless somebody gets like 25 of them, which
I
is like
disagree.
insane.
Rebounds are
I,
important.
yeah, rebounds are important to the flow of the game, and of course, you need a big body there. One, if not two, if not sometimes three, depending on how big your team is or whatever your lineup is.
Hmm.
Um, but Evan Mobley, he's what are we, year 3 of this experiment? We're going Jalen Green style. Year 3, Evan Mobley pull up on us.
Hmm. Hmm.
Finally, we get to see the Cavs in kind of this situation where they're off to Boston. They're playing Boston, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Have
Yeah.
fun.
Oh man. Yeah. That'll be fun. No
If we get to
KP.
5, that's impressive.
No KP. So that's
Derek
Boston's
White's going to
third.
just torch Donovan Mitchell. Is what's going to
Yeah.
happen, and it's going to be the
Donovan
grossest
Mitchell on
thing we've ever
defense.
seen.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He needs the heat culture makeover in order to completely transcend his game and transform his
Yeah,
game. I'm really excited to see what's going to go down there. Wouldn't be surprised if the Cavs take it to 6, but I,
I would be.
I just want more games. I'm like
Yeah,
coping because I want to see more basketball. On one end, I want to see more basketball, but then when Game 7 happened yesterday, at what was it, 12 p.m. Central Time? I was like, "P fucking you!" Like I just
yeah.
woke up. What are we talking about here? So I don't know. I the NBA kind of did a disservice, and I don't know if you saw the tweet, but the Instagram caption that they posted for the game, it was a copy and paste transcript, and they left the
Mm,
copy part in it, and it
goodness.
made it look very like all it's already corporate and disingenuous, but it looked extra because there was like copy and paste this into Instagram caption, and at the end it was like send memo to dot 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 or whatever.
That's
Um,
good.
so if you wanted even shittier part of Game 7, there it is. Shout out Donovan Mitchell though, Darius Garland, he'll figure it out eventually. Year 5, year 4, Darius Garland will figure it out. Um, I'm trying to really understand and enjoy what is going to be has every looking to be just a shit series
Mhm.
coming up in Boston.
So
Knicks Pacers doesn't look great, but it's okay. We
I
move.
will say, Donovan Mitchell has done this in the playoffs many a times. He's scored 40 plus a lot of times in the playoffs. And it's never really been his entire fault that his teams have never advanced. Jalen Brunson went off for 2 games before Luka came back 2 years ago on the Mavericks. Like Brunson was just matching Donovan Mitchell for the first 2 games. So, and Rudy Gobert was getting played off the court. That's another thing. And it was only because Donovan Mitchell couldn't stand in front of his defender that Rudy Gobert ended up getting played off the court. But neither here nor there. Donovan Mitchell will score points in the playoffs each and every year. He will do that no matter what. The other thing, you mentioned Evan Mobley. We're on year 3 of this. He looks the most uncomfortable player in the world in the paint. Like
Yeah,
Derek Lively is a rookie and he played maybe 50 games this year, and he has 2 things that he can do. He can either dunk you or he has a little post hook. Those are the only 2 things that Derek Lively can do in the post on offense, like or offensive rebound. Evan Mobley can't do those at all. He can't. He doesn't have a post hook, and he doesn't
he's
have
just a body.
a dunk. Like it's the weirdest thing that Bill Simmons is like, I bought all of the Evan Mobley stock. I have Evan Mobley Island. I own all of it. I own all the property. I'm like, Bill, you should have sold it 3 years ago. It's like we're holding on way too long here, bud. Because I don't see how it happens. And then Darius Garland obviously broke his jaw earlier this season, and it looks like he's a little bit afraid to do all of the things and get into contact and force fouls or force offensive production. I think he's just a little bit timid because a broken jaw obviously is nothing to be like fucking around with. I wouldn't want to mess around with it. So
Mm-mm.
yeah, I mean the Cavs, whatever. The Magic, however, Franz Wagner, MIP, most invisible player award. It is official. It's going to you, Franz. He fucking you shot like what 18%, 20% from 3 since the trade deadline, I believe is what it is.
Oh my god!
Um, yeah, just atrocious.
Wow.
Like we used to be in like the 30s, 32. And you're like, okay, you hit 3 out of every 10, we can deal with that. But you're hitting 1.8 out of every 10, not good. since the trade
Can't
deadline.
can't
You
do it.
just did not show up.
No.
Paolo didn't
Suggs didn't show up. Wagner didn't show up.
yeah,
Bad vibes in Orlando. This wasn't the year. Where pulling a stone here. Where are you? You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's awful.
But this was the year. Figure it out in the first round. If you make it to the second round, that's awesome. Like that's your ceiling.
Right.
They went to 7 games in round one against a good Cleveland team that was top 3 in the East for a majority of the season. Honestly, like they went on an 18-game win streak earlier in
Yeah.
January, so it's not a bad Cavs team. It's just the East is a little bit easier than everyone's assumed it was at the beginning of the season. Everyone thought Miami was going to be better. Everyone thought pretty much every team was going to be better, except for Boston. They were like, yeah, they're going to probably win like 55, 60 games, and that's going to be it. So yeah, this was the figure it out year. This is get your heart taken out of your chest year for the Magic, and they'll come back stronger. They'll sign somebody or they'll trade for somebody, Paul George, Mikal Bridges, somebody that can just alleviate Paolo sometimes, because you don't want to take the ball out of Paolo's hands too much, but you do need another scorer, and obviously it's shown that Franz Wagner is not that guy. So it was game 7. It was kind of stinky. It was 10 plus point game at the end of the game. So
Yeah.
A little bit of
PU all the way, but if you want to get even more PU vibes, the Orlando Magic and Klay Thompson have a mutual agreement or mutual interest.
Yeah.
We'll see how much money they fork up to 34-year-old Klay Thompson here. This will be really interesting to see, because where is he going to play in that offense? They need a big shooter. If he can somehow reverse all the damage that Klay Thompson has caused over the past year, that'll be pretty cool. Pretty cool. I can't lie.
Sure. I would like Klay Thompson on the Magic. I would
so rootable. So rootable.
I would root for Klay Thompson for the first time in my life if he was on
the
Magic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've been a Klay hater since forever. For no particular reason. It was just I saw him one day. I was like, I don't like this guy. I don't like the cut of his jib. I don't like him. I don't know what it is. So yeah, that was game 7, 12 o'clock start time, Central Time Zone. Atrocious NBA. We've got to be better than that. We know we've got to be better. Who's going to put a game 7 at 12 p.m. outside of the NHL? I see the NHL doing it, but even the NHL didn't do it. They put it at 6:30. It was originally scheduled for 11 o'clock. Like last week, after game 5, I looked at the schedule, and game 7, if needed, was scheduled for 11 p.m. Central Time Zone. And I was like, no fucking way. There's no way. They moved it. 6:30 p.m. start time, Central Time Zone in Dallas. Good job, NHL. Maybe the NBA can take some notes. Please don't take too many notes, though, because I don't want you to do what the NHL has done over the last 45 years. So we watched game 6 live stream in the office. Mavericks Clippers Friday night. It was not a good game. Like it was the most stress-free elimination game I've ever experienced in my life. Like in the first half, I was like, okay, the Clippers are kind of going on a run here in the second quarter. And I was like, Kyrie hasn't scored points yet. He scored what, 2 or 3 in the first half? Maybe 4.
Went off,
and then he had 28 in the second half. The 3 that he hit on, I don't remember who it was that was guarding him, but in the corner, he just dribbles around this person, just incessantly killing him with dribbles, and then goes to the corner, fadeaway 3, gets fouled, 4-point play. Daniel Gafford looked like he was watching witchcraft from the 1600s in Salem, like he didn't know what was happening.
Yes.
It was an incredible Kyrie game. It was a bad Luka series, and he averaged like close to a triple-double and like 27, 28 points per game. So it's like he shot 24% from 3, 23% from 3 in the series, like awful from 3. And the Mavs, I wouldn't say they won easily in 6. The first 4 games were very tough. The last 2 games, however, were not. The Mavericks are really good, and the Clippers have a lot of decisions to have this summer. And they had a lot of things to figure out.
Where does Paul George go?
And James Harden is also owed a contract. Russell Westbrook's still under contract for next season, though. So congratulations on that, boys. That's good.
Yeah. How much is Russell Westbrook getting paid here? Let's do some digging.
I think he got like 2 for 8 or 2 for 7.
Okay. It was close to that minimum, I'm pretty sure. But
yeah,
this was completely stress-free on your end. We had it on the smaller TV because we
had
the Stars game on the big projector. I was sitting over there watching the Mavs game while y'all were geeking out watching the Stars game, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't even have anything to add about this game." Like y'all, there's nothing to be worried about over here.
No.
So I completely get it on your end. I was trying to hoop it up, talk ball,
Mhm.
talk shop, and in my brain I was just like, fuck. There's nothing there's nothing they're giving us here. I mean, the Harden stinker, almost triple double stinker.
Yeah. His game
Let
6 was
Westbrook
in
shoot.
game 5.
Yeah. Let Westbrook shoot. A lot of silly vibes are going on. But I'm glad that we all came back down to earth, and not only did your Mavericks teams win both series, but the Clippers are getting the fuck out of there.
Yep.
Welcome to the Intuit Dome. I think that's what it's going to be called. The
Sounds right. Yeah,
wall. That's going to be
be
sick.
sick. The Clipper wall
Yeah.
is gonna be sick. I'm
Yeah,
excited
can't wait
about
for the sound barriers or whatever sound technology they're gonna do to spy on their fans, not tinfoil hat mode.
it's gonna be interesting.
Can't wait. Thank you, Steve Ballmer, the head of technology, always leading the charge, baby.
Yeah, Clippers have a lot of decisions to make. Like they already gave Kawhi an extension. Kawhi had the healthiest year that he's had in since 2014. Call it like he
Yeah.
hasn't had a healthy year since then. He got hurt in 2015 playoffs, right? It was at the Zaza Pachulia year.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so he hasn't had a healthy year in 10 years. And they're like, here's a max contract extension, 3 years. Here you go. Have fun with that. That's great. We have our star. Kawhi plays 70 games this year, 72? Like he played a lot of games this year. And all of a sudden, right before the playoffs, they're like, Kawhi's got a knee issue. Misses game 1, comes in game 2, basically blows it for the Clippers. Like him and Russell Westbrook combined just blow the game for the Clippers. Like it was a close game. I think it was a 3-point game at the end of it. Game 3, he plays again, blows it again for him. Just turnover city, can't make a shot. Like I think he was 3 of 10 or 12 or something that game. Like blew that game. Then he just doesn't play game 4 or 5 or 6, and they still lose. Paul George still hasn't got his contract extension. I think he wants max years and max money. I don't think the Clippers are willing to do it because they've seen what happens when this team is healthy and what happens when this team is not healthy. It hasn't worked, regardless of which way you put it. You already gave your max money to Kawhi. You're burning a hole in your pocket by doing that because the odds are that you're not going to get a healthy Kawhi come April or even May. Like if you make it to May, like we barely made it to May and we just never had Kawhi. Paul George, incredible game followed by stinker. Incredible game followed by stinker. Incredible game followed by stinker. You know what you're getting out of him, old playoff P in the playoffs. Like you know what's happening. You're going to get an incredible game and a stinker. James Harden, you're going to give him 4 years for 150 million, 145 million. Like
No.
that's way too much, dude. And that's Fred VanVleet money right now. that's so much. Like,
There it is.
I mean, what are you going to do with this Clippers team? You can't not pay at least one of them going to a new stadium with Kawhi under contract. You have to pay at least one of them. You're probably going to try to keep Paul George and James Harden. And we saw what happened this year. Like they went on a run. They won 15 or 17 out of 20 games, something like that. Like they went on a run once they started figuring it out after going 0-5, 0-7 to start.
Since the Harden trade, yeah.
And then they went on a run. And you're like, oh shit, this is what this Clippers team can be. They can just switch on everybody. They've got size, they've got speed, they've got scoring, and then all of a sudden it all falls apart every single year. And it happens every single year. And this Mavs team was not anywhere near being healthy. No Tim Hardaway Jr. for most of the that's their sixth man this entire season. And he did score 15 plus points a game. I'm just saying. He didn't have any bench scoring.
Oh my god.
Luka is hurt and sick the entire time and couldn't make a single three. Like he went 1 for 10 every game this series, or 2 for 12. Like
he did.
Brutal from 3. Couldn't make a 3. And all of a sudden just Kyrie's like, you know what, I'll just score. He averaged 20 points in the fourth quarter on 60%, or in the second half on 60% shooting in this series. 20 points.
You can't play much better than that at all. This is sick. I love the Tim Hardaway Jr. just absolute complete 180 on Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, hey, he's a body. He's on your team. He gives you some value sometimes. But I just like this entire year we've just been shitting on Tim Hardaway, and then you're like, wait, but we didn't have him. This isn't fair.
Oh, and they did murder Maxi Kleber in game 6.
My god! Oh my god!
Brutal. They murdered him.
Didn't he tear a shoulder? Something?
Yeah, AC joint separation. He'll be reevaluated in 3 weeks.
PU.
was his name? Glenn Coffey. I'm gonna kill him.
Amir Coffee.
Glenn Coffey is the running
Don't
back for
sleep on the bench guy.
the San Francisco 49ers like 10 years ago is what from
What a
Alabama.
pull. You know ball, brother.
There it is. I'm in my football mindset right now. It's sick.
Happy summer.
Yeah, but the Clippers, they're dead. Mavericks advance to play Oklahoma City. So we can get into that little preview. They start tomorrow night, or Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Central. So not too late. Not a long flight. Not a lot of travel for the Mavericks or the Thunder this time. 30-minute flight either way. I just have such a good feeling heading into the series, and I don't want to say anything, but I have a really good feeling because we saw what happened when they had healthy, and it was an off game for Oklahoma City right after the All-Star break, but the Mavericks won by 50 with everybody healthy. They had Luka, Kyrie, PJ, Gafford, Lively. They had everybody. And the rest of the time, either Luka or Kyrie or both did not play, and Derek Lively didn't play them again the rest of the season. So the Thunder won the season series 3-1. The Mavs weren't the same team except for one of those games, and then the last game of the season, the Mavs sat everybody. It was G League Mavs versus starting Thunder team, so they won by 50. Yeah, it is what it is, but I have a really good feeling. I just think Luka starts to hit threes, and then we've seen what happens with Kyrie in the third and fourth quarter. It's just like can't stop him. We have length, versatility, got size with the centers that they don't have. They can't guard Gafford. We just saw what happened with Zubac, and Zubac just bodied Gafford the entire series. So, Chet Holmgren, not sure if you're bigger than Zubac, but I don't think you are.
This series has 7 written all over it to me, and until that thought changes, I think I'm gonna ride with that the whole way. I really would just love the Mavericks to take one. Maybe the OKC take 2 in a row, Mavs take 2 in a row, and then split the last 2. It'd be a sick way to end the series. Regardless, like we've always mentioned, the West will run through Denver until it doesn't. But look out! Don't look now, Anthony Edwards. We'll get to that in a minute. This series honestly could be one of the more fun playoff series this entire year. Like I said, it has 7 written all over it. I don't think that any team is going to win in 4 or 5. It's the like I mentioned, the unstoppable force against the immovable object almost. So like something's got to give there, and I don't mean that in like a both of these teams suck way. I mean that in the Oklahoma City Thunder are just so good in so many different ways. They're young, they're fun, they have a team of friendship. The power of friendship team. But then the Mavericks, on the other hand, have 2 of the probably arguably top 10, top 15 NBA players when healthy, and an incredibly decent bench unit to kind of show up. PJ Washington and Gafford, like we mentioned, trade deadline, that just separates you from the rest. We talk about a winner at the trade deadline. The like we mentioned the past 4 or 5 months. Like this is great.
D- with ESPN and NBA.com writers.
Fuck off. What did they even give up? They didn't even give up that much, did they?
And you know what Kyrie's trade was a year and a half ago? A D+ was what they voted on it.
Fuck off.
Gave up Dorian Finney-Smith, and you can make a joke now.
Dorian Finney-Smith, more like dude fucking sucks. Oh there man, love it. The monthly DFS joke.
Huge, Dorian.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I just love this series. The outlook of this series. It seems perfect. It feels perfect. I just hope I haven't looked at the schedule yet. If we get a game 6 or a 7, it's on like a shitty Tuesday or Thursday night, and just like nothing else on TV. You really get to like set it in, enjoy it, have fun watching it. Like, man, this is going to be the series. If not T-Wolves Nuggets, and we'll get to that, like I said, in a minute. Fuck, the West is awesome. This is sick, and I'm glad that your team gets to be a part of it. The Rockets should be a part of it next year. Hopefully, a 7 seed or better. Manifesting people. Damn, I love basketball.
Yeah. I know the Clippers were the 4 seed, but I think the 4 best teams made the conference semifinals on the West side.
Yep.
Obviously, that happened because Kawhi was out, and we didn't get a full series of that. I still think the Mavericks came out on top in that series with a healthy Kawhi, but it would have been 7 more than 6. With this series, my heart wants to say Mavs in 5, but my head would be 7. So I'm going to go with 7 as well. Okay. Mavs in 7. went on the road in Game 7 at Oklahoma City, and it's going to be a 2:30 game. Like, it just has to be. Like, let's just pull up the Twitter real quick. The Mavs tweeted out the schedule earlier today. I saw there is a 2:30 game on a Saturday coming up soon. I
Oh,
think it's
brother.
this Saturday we got a 2:30
The,
game, but
the curse of the 2:30 in Dallas.
it's brutal. Yeah, Saturday, May 11th, 2:30 at home, and then Monday is Game 4. No 2:30. We got a Monday Game 7, 7:30 on TNT.
Oh, yeah, baby. Give me a weekday Game 7. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll play. We're all right with that. So yeah, that'll be a fun series. I think 1 versus the 5 in the playoffs. So it's a little bit different, I guess. It's not 1 through 4, even though it could have been 4 if the Mavericks didn't sit everyone for the last 2 games of the season. But it's fine. Last thing before we go, Anthony Edwards. Hello, how you doing? We saw you last series against the Phoenix Suns, and it was incredible. And we had a great time. Talked a lot of shit, scored a lot of points, and even sometimes you didn't score a lot of points and you still talk shit. It was awesome. Loved that. Game 1 against Denver was it was mind blowing, numbing.
My head exploded.
It was just incredible. What did he score? 40? Like
43. Franchise record. Yeah.
Dez missed his prize picks on Jokic. I think he had more than 49.5 points, rebounds, assists, and he hit 49 on the dot.
Yikes.
Because a lot of players missed some easy like shots with the assists, and they didn't happen. But Anthony Edwards was incredible. Nas Reed, just everyone was flying.
6 more. 6 more.
Yeah, it's just they were a great team against Denver. They did everything right against Denver, and Denver did everything wrong that they normally do right. Just missed open shots, and they couldn't guard Nas Reed. It was the weirdest thing. This is so strange. He was just flying all over the place. The putback.
Y'all got Nikola Jokic. We got Nas Reed.
Nas Reed, boys. That's great. But Anthony Edwards, 43 in Game 1 against Denver. This was the most competitive series that Denver really had last year, was against Minnesota, unironically. And in LA. LA played them well as well. But they won a game. They went 4-1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves last season. And now we got a healthy Gobert, and Anthony Edwards is a year older. So it's crazy. It's going to be a fun series. I don't know if they can just like roll through Denver, but maybe they can. I don't know. I think it's weird.
We'll see. Right. We need to start having uncomfortable conversations about Rudy Gobert. I hate him with every fiber of my being, but damn it, he is probably a top 10 impactful player in the league. And I like it's almost it feels like I have an invisible gun to my head. Like I feel it, but you can't see it. It stinks. But Rudy Gobert is just truly the difference maker here. And I'd almost like to say that my Alperen Şengün cat take is aging like wine. Because that was one of the only players that I took over, if you don't remember. Alperen Şengün. Fun episode, by the way. Man, this team is sick. And if they end up even just taking the Nuggets to 7, man, a lot of conversations need to be had. Anthony Edwards is like every single tool that you want in a player. It's almost like Ken Griffey Jr., but in basketball form, like young Ken Griffey, but in basketball form. Like this is sick. I've never seen
of just being a dickhead. Combine that with Ken Griffey, young Ken Griffey Jr. Yes.
Such an asshole, and I love it. The competitive fieriness, like this is and like I said, he's 11 days older than me. I just feel some kind of way whenever I see him. I'm like, damn, that could have been me, but also that could have been one of my peers. And I love supporting my friends. Like this is sick. And man, I love parasocial relationships with NBA players, dude. Sick. Shit's sick. I'm writing fan fiction in my brain right now about Anthony Edwards. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop it.
So preseason, he switched his number from 1 to 5, and I was like, that was the worst move of all time. This is like, that's the worst thing you could have ever done, Anthony Edwards. 1 was elite on him, and 5 for the first 2-3 months of the season, I was like, I don't like it. And now I'm just like, yeah, no, this makes sense. He looks incredible. He's just the number switch. It might have done everything for him. He was already really good last year, and maybe just the number switch, and he got into the right number, and all of a sudden he's good. I don't know. I have that theory in football. When you don't have the right number, like a tight end that wears like 83 or like you're like that doesn't 80, 83 doesn't work. 82, you get into 81, 88, 87. You're like that tight end. He's going to cook this year. He switched his number. Like he looks faster in 88. He just looks better. Mike Gesicki was the prime case of this. He wore 86 his rookie year, stunk. Next year, wears 88, catches like 10 touchdowns. I was like, I'm telling you guys, it was all in the number.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
he do shit. But yeah,
I'll talk about fan fiction. Jesus Christ,
the number switch, it worked out. I don't know. It was a visual that I couldn't get out of my head, and now it's like, okay, no, I can't. I don't even remember what one looked like. 5 looks great.
Players wear Seattle Seahawks or Miami Dolphin uniforms, and they just look faster. I don't make the rules. That's how it goes.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
And Alabama players look bigger in their crimson jerseys.
Yes.
Just
oh my God,
larger. LSU in the white and yellow as well.
Yes, dude. When I think of like elite like DTs, like I think Marcel Darius played at Alabama, right? Big as shit, just big as shit. And that's Cody? Like who? Oh yeah,
Cody, the big defensive tackle, wore 69 for Alabama, blocked the kick against Tennessee in 2009. He was a Raven, and then he got to the NFL and he just stunk because he was too fat. Yeah, Mount Cody.
Yep. God. College football, I need that inject it, dude. Like I missed a lot of fun times last year. I need it back.
We got like a month and a half, and we get NCAA football back.
I don't know. I don't even know how to react. Fuck, this is awesome. Oh my God,
NBA playoff time, but yeah, I've got a football fever. But Anthony Edwards, he's incredible. They won game 1. They play again tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time Zone. So we'll see what happens in game 2. If it's more of the same, I'm going to start saying some things because they're on the road. They're in Denver. Mm-hmm. Minnesota ended up fucking up at the end of the season, and they got the 3 seed as opposed to the 1 seed. You always want home court advantage. I don't care about the matchups. You want home court advantage. Denver has it this series, and they lost game 1. See what happens in game 2. I'm excited to see what happens. Jokic played well. Jamal Murray was fine. Jamal Murray, did you see the lip reader thing the other day? Someone did some lip reading. They do sports lip readings like all the time, like actual ones.
Yeah, not the bad lip reading.
Not the bad lip readings, but actual lip readings. And Anthony Edwards goes, "You got me?" Talking to Jamal Murray on defense. And Jamal's like, "Yeah, I got you. This is going to be fun." And Anthony Edwards just goes, "Okay." And then he just shuts him down on one end, and then he just dribbles crossover, pull-up jumper, 2 points. God. And he just starts talking shit. You can't fucking guard me, brother. You can't fucking guard me. And he's just walking around. He's like, you ain't shit. Just walking away, just talking so much shit, and then shutting him down again on the other side of the court and scoring on him again on the other side of the court. It was incredible that Jamal Murray was put on Anthony Edwards. I was like, you need to put Aaron Gordon on Anthony Edwards is what needs to happen.
You can put God on Anthony Edwards.
Your best defender and see what happens, because I guess no one can guard Anthony Edwards anymore. Kevin Durant, no. The Suns, no. Maybe the Nuggets, no. Turns out he scores 43 in game 1. So, Anthony Edwards, I love you tremendously. And if the Mavericks have to play against the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm going to have to do the greatest heel turn of all time and just hate Anthony Edwards for the rest of the time. And that's what you. And then
let's not manifest that. Let's not manifest it. He's a caring father now. You saw the video.
He's a great dad. He's
an amazing father.
He's just a great dad. That's what I've always said about Anthony Edwards. He's loving, caring, kind. Send the video. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. It's going to be a fun series. Play again tonight. So we recorded this Monday, May 6th at 12:21 p.m. is when we're finishing up. So we haven't had any playoff basketball yet, but we'll get to it tonight. Be back, and then we'll be back later this week. So shout out to you for listening. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button at ApolloHOU. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode. This episode has been brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, Apollo's wing joint. Go check them out today if you're in the Houston area. Great wings, great people, great beer over at Big City Wings. And shout out to our daily fantasy sponsor at Prize Picks. Just go deposit some money in there. Use code Apollo when you sign up. You can get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Not a big deal. You hit more or less on every stat, every player, every night, every game with Prize Picks. Use code Apollo when you sign up. And get a deposit match. You might as well. It's free money. You just make more money with Prize Picks using code Apollo when you sign up. Shout out to them for sponsoring this episode. Shout out to you, Josh, for watching basketball. Shout out to me for watching basketball. This has been Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast.